สวัสดีค่ะยินดีต้อนรับสู่งานสัมมนา Carleton University หรือ CU ค่ะมหาวิทยาลัยชื่อดังจากเมืองออตตาวาในรัฐออนแทรีโอประเทศแคนาดาค่ะวันนี้ได้รับเกียรติจากท่านผู้บริหาร Carleton University มาบรรยายให้เราฟังค่ะ Hello Andy
Hello, good evening or good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We all are so excited to learn about Carleton University and all the programs that you offer. So let's get started.
Sounds great. All right, so next slide when you're ready. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so before I get into discussing Carleton University, I will begin with talking a little bit in general about Canada and why you may want to consider Canada as a destination for your university studies. And I also want to say that I strongly encourage each and every one of you to work with the amazing team at Pacific Premier. They are extraordinarily professional and very knowledgeable about Canada. In fact, I believe they studied in Canada as well. So they have firsthand knowledge about Canada, and you can certainly trust all of the information that they provide. May I have the next slide, please?
Sure, thank you.
When you're thinking of Canada, I know that you may have a perception of Canada as being ice and snow all the time. It actually isn't. I think the reason many people think that is because so much of Canada is up in the Arctic. But in Canada, we have a public education system that also funds our universities and colleges. So no matter where you decide to study in Canada, preferably with one of our Pacific Premier partners, including Carleton University, you have the confidence in knowing that no matter where you go, you're going to be able to access one of the best degrees or diplomas you can get anywhere in the world. The degrees are highly recognized throughout the entire world as being one of the best you can possibly get. Plus, you can also enjoy experiential learning, that is hands-on experience, paid work experience associated with what you are studying. And also in Canada, the style of education is very similar to what you would find in the United States in terms of the flexibility of the education. You can have double majors, a major and a major and two minors. You can change your major very easily, and you can even change your entire degree. And if you do that early, you can still finish your degree within the original 4-year time frame. Also in Canada, you'll have the opportunity to remain in Canada on a postgraduate work permit if you decide to do so. Next, please. So in Canada, there are over 100 different public universities and over 125 colleges. I know some of you may have a perception that college is inferior to university. It actually isn't. It's just a different style of education. So it's all about helping you find the best fit. Not only does that institution offer what you want to study, but also what is the city like? What is the size of the campus? Most institutions in Canada are public, and there's a wide range of programs to choose from. And there are some large universities that have close to 100,000 students studying there, and there are much smaller institutions of maybe just 1,000 or 2,000 students. Next slide, please. When you are looking at studying in Canada, it is important to note that if you want to pursue something like medicine or dentistry or pharmacology or law school, if you want to become a lawyer, these are graduate programs. So in North America, you would typically need to do an undergraduate degree or at least a partial undergraduate degree before you would apply separately for entry into programs such as medicine, law, pharmacology, physiotherapy, dentistry, veterinary sciences, or a master's of architecture. If you are wanting to do something like business, accounting, engineering, nursing, kinesiology, these would be direct entry from high school. Next slide, please. So while you are enrolled as a full-time student, whether it be at a university or a college, you will have the opportunity of working part-time to supplement your income. You can work up to 24 hours a week or unlimited hours if you're working on a university or college campus. And you can also work full-time during breaks in your studies. There's typically two breaks during the academic year, one in the winter and one in the fall, typically October. And of course, there's approximately 4 months of a break in the summer months. So you could work full-time if you're remaining in Canada during that time. Next. So the opportunity to get experiential learning, that is what we call cooperative education in Canada. You can actually earn anywhere from 4 to 16 months of full-time paid work experience. Just imagine that. Imagine, for example, studying engineering and actually working alongside engineers who have earned the same degree you are working toward and doing what they do every day. While you are participating in cooperative education, or co-op for short, you're not actually studying. So you're pausing your studies and taking what you've been learning in the classroom and laboratories and applying it to a real life, real world situation, while also getting paid for your work. This is an amazing way to establish your career, make contacts in the industry, and get that valuable work experience that employers are looking for, and it makes you much more job ready as soon as you graduate. Next. Once you have graduated, you have the opportunity to apply for a postgraduate work permit. In fact, I would encourage you to apply for the postgraduate work permit during your last semester of study. This allows you to continue to live and work in Canada for up to 3 years after you graduated. Typically, the duration of the postgraduate work permit is 1 year less than the duration of your degree. So, for example, if you were completing a 3 year degree or a 3 year diploma, then you could apply for a 2 year postgraduate work permit. Most students that are coming to Canada for their studies, they're doing an honors degree or a 4 year degree. This means you would have the opportunity to have a 3 year option to continue to live and work in Canada. And earlier, when I was talking about the co-op work experience, many of the companies or organizations that hire international students for the co-op studies, they've already trained you and they get to know you and what you can do for them. And so they often want you to continue to work for them. They don't want to lose their investment in you. So they may give you a letter of employment, perhaps, when you're applying for a postgraduate work permit, but you don't actually have to have a job lined up when you apply for this. It's open. So you could find a job after you get the work permit, but it's certainly an option available to international students. Some students will pursue permanent residency during this time. If that's something that interests you, that would be the time to apply for permanent residency in Canada. Next slide, please. Okay, so I've been talking a lot about the benefits of studying in Canada, but I actually work for Carleton University. I'm an admissions officer at Carleton University, and I'm also a two-time graduate of Carleton. So I'm more than happy to talk in much more detail and more depth about the opportunities available at Carleton specifically. Next. So when you're looking at Carleton, you'll be able to have confidence in knowing you're getting an amazing education. We are currently ranked number 4 for the comprehensive universities in Canada. What does that mean? Well, comprehensive universities are universities that have a wide range of programs available at a variety of different levels. So, of course, there's the bachelor's level, there's the master's, and the PhD. And we have a wide range of programs in the high-tech areas, as well as the biosciences, business, the liberal arts and humanities, and so much more. And all of these options are available at multiple levels. So that's what comprehensive means. We're also located in Ottawa, which is the capital city of Canada. Ottawa is not just the capital for government, it's also the heart of the high-tech sector in Canada. So you'll be able to perhaps work in the industry through a co-op opportunity if you're in a high-tech field such as engineering or computer science or cybersecurity or data science or so much more. We also have a very strong co-op program. We have the third largest co-op program in all of Canada and the fastest growing co-op program we have the third largest co-op program in Ontario and the fastest growing co-op program in Canada. We would also guarantee you a place to live in residence for the first year of your studies, not just the first academic year, but beyond that. You can actually live in residence for 12 full months. And if you wish to remain in residence for year 2, 3, and 4, you have that opportunity as well. Carleton also has a lot of scholarship opportunities for you, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So, as I mentioned, we're located in Ottawa, which is a very beautiful, beautiful capital city of Canada. It's filled with amazing architecture like you see here. It's filled with waterways, rivers, and canals, and lots of green spaces. It's also a very bicycle-friendly city. Next slide. So here you see some images of the downtown area of Ottawa. What you're looking at there in the center of your screen is a very famous hotel that's apparently haunted, although I don't know if I believe that. And just to the right of your screen, you'll see our parliament. It's a really beautiful, beautiful city. Right to the stripe down the middle of the screen is the beginning of our canal. And in the wintertime, next slide, in the wintertime, that canal will freeze and become the world's longest skating rink, which is pretty amazing. So these are just some images of Ottawa that you'll see here. That's actually not a doctored photo. I know the sky looks kind of purplish in that photo. That's a real photo, and the sky sometimes looks that way, typically at the end of the day. It's really, really a beautiful city. And we're right on the Ottawa River as well. Next slide. These are some more iconic images of the city of Ottawa. Next. As I mentioned, the canal will freeze and become the world's longest skating rink. Next. And students will often use the canal to access the campus as a means of transportation. They may ice skate to the campus, take off their ice skates, put on their winter boots, and then access the campus in all of their classes. Next. So we are located just between Toronto and Montreal. So when you're flying from Bangkok, when I fly to Bangkok, for example, I'm typically flying from Ottawa to Vancouver or Ottawa to Toronto and then on to Bangkok. So there aren't direct flights from Thailand to Canada, typically to Vancouver. So Vancouver is, if you look at this map of North America, it would be on the far west coast of Canada, right where you see that long little island on the left side of the map of North America there. That is Vancouver Island. And it's right near there that you would be connecting to Ottawa and then on to Bangkok. But there are many, many flight options. Ottawa has an international airport, as does Montreal and Toronto, so there's no shortage of ways to access Ottawa. As you can see, our cities are located right along the border with the US. In fact, our campus, next slide, is very, very close to the border with the US. But Ottawa is also known to be the second safest large city in all of North America. In fact, I would guess that most, if not all, of the cities in the top 10 are Canadian cities because Canada is an extraordinarily safe and welcoming place. In case you're curious to know what is the safest city in North America, that would be Quebec City in the province of Quebec, which is about a 4-hour drive away from Ottawa. Next slide, please. So, next slide. So there's lots of fun things to do in Ottawa. There's lots of festivals and sporting events. Next slide. And here you see a testimonial from one of our international students, Prasham. He's originally from the United Arab Emirates. And there are so many students from so many different countries studying with us. I'll just give you a moment to read his testimonial, but you will notice a QR code just to the right of the screen there. That is actually a feature that allows you to chat directly with some of our international students. So if that's something that interests you, if you want to actually interact with current international students, you can use that QR code, which you'll also see again later, to interact with them and ask questions that perhaps you may not be comfortable asking someone like me who has not studied for quite some time at Carleton. So you can talk to students who may even be in your program. Next slide, please. So now we'll get to get a look of the Carleton University campus, which is a very beautiful campus. It kind of feels like its own island within the city itself. Next slide. Here in this image, you can see what I mean. So this triangular piece of land with the canal on the top of the screen, top of the campus, and the Rideau River on the bottom, it really creates a tight-knit community at Carleton University. That entire triangular piece of land is our campus. It's a very unique piece of land within the city itself. And because we are located in Ottawa and we do have 4 distinct seasons, it may give you some peace of mind in knowing that absolutely everything you see on the campus there is connected to a heated network of underground tunnels. So students that are living in residence, they're able to simply take the elevator down to the tunnel level and access all of their classes, the library, the gymnasium, and sporting facilities, the restaurants and cafes, and so much more, all using the tunnel system. So on those days when it is snowing in the middle of our winter, it's very interesting. I will go to the tunnels to get a coffee, and I will see students from residence that are wearing flip-flops or shorts or skirts. And I always know that those are students that are living in residence, because not too many people would be walking around in the wintertime wearing shorts or flip-flops, that's for sure. Sometimes I'll even see students wearing pajama bottoms, which is pretty funny. Yeah, so you can certainly take advantage of that. It's also advantageous even in the spring and the fall when it may be a day of very heavy rain and you perhaps don't want to carry an umbrella with you. You can just use the tunnel system, which is very convenient and handy. Next slide. So there's the campus right there. And as you can see, we're right in the city. The city wraps right around us. That is just the city park on the one side of the campus and another city park on the other side of the campus. But you'll also notice a set of railroad tracks that is cutting from the right side of the screen, and it goes across the river and then curves its way through the campus. That is actually part of a light rail transit system. And included with your tuition at Carleton University, you will get a transit pass, which allows you to walk into residence, hop onto the train, and get around the city very, very conveniently. You can be downtown in just 7 minutes from residence. Next slide. And as you can also see, there's not a single snowflake to be seen in this photograph. It may surprise you just how hot Ottawa can become in the summertime. Yes, we have a cold winter, but we also have a very, very hot summer. A little personal note, my wife is from Malaysia, and as you know, the weather in Malaysia is very similar to the weather in Thailand. It's very hot and it's very humid at times. And she often complains when Ottawa is hotter than Kuala Lumpur or Bangkok. It does happen. It may surprise you.
What is the hottest temperature in Ottawa, please?
The hottest I've experienced in Ottawa is 48 degrees, but that's not common.
Okay.
It may be in the low 40s for a few days in Ottawa in the summertime, but it gets into the mid to high 30s regularly throughout the summer.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. So these are some highlights of the campus. We are 15 minutes from downtown if you're taking a bus or riding a bicycle. There is a medical facility on campus, athletic facilities, on-campus residence, and many other facilities. You see, Carleton has over 30,000 students, almost 31,000 students studying with us. And those students are coming from all over the world. It's great to be able to be in the capital city because you'll also have very easy access to the Embassy of Thailand if you need to renew your passport or anything like that. The next slide, please. So I mentioned the tunnel system that connects absolutely everything on campus. This gives you a sense of it. This is a map of the tunnel system. So it looks very confusing. It looks like perhaps the BTS system and the BTS system in Bangkok. It's not nearly as fast as that, but it gives you a sense of it. Next slide, please. Here's another testimonial from another student, another international student studying with us, Camila. And again, you can use this QR code to interact with Camila or Prasham or any of our other international students that are our student ambassadors as well. And next slide, please. Now, in terms of what degree programs we offer at Carleton, you'll see that on the next slide, please. You'll see that here. So so again, we are in the top 4 of comprehensive universities. So that means there's a wide range of programs to choose from. Next slide. And here you'll see a list of all of the undergraduate degree programs that we offer. Of course, there are many, many, many more options if you factor in the master's and PhD. But since I'm an admissions officer for undergraduate studies, that is my focus for this presentation today. When you're looking at these 26 different undergraduate degrees, you may notice a bit of a theme. For example, you'll notice that we have journalism, but also journalism and humanities, communication and media studies, media production and design. That's because Carleton has the oldest school of journalism in all of Canada, and the strength and prestige of our journalism program also gives us strength in other media-related fields. You'll also notice that a lot of these programs are associated with the high-tech sector, such as computer science, cybersecurity, data science, engineering, industrial design, information technology. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier about our location in the capital city of Canada, which is also sometimes known as the Silicon Valley of Canada. It is the heart of the high-tech sector of Canada. But of course, Ottawa is also the home to the majority of life science research in Canada. So that is why we have strong programs tied to the life sciences, such as the Bachelor of Health Sciences, nursing, and of course the biosciences within our science faculty. And yes, we are in the capital city, so we are very strong in programs associated with government, such as public affairs and policy management, global and international studies, and the very prestigious Bachelor of Arts major in political science, in which, if you wish, you can specialize in international relations. We also have 2 distinct business programs as well. Next slide, please. So if you are interested in engineering, feel free, Parinda, to click through this. You'll see the different majors that we offer within engineering. So at Carleton, we actually have the oldest school of aerospace engineering in all of Canada as well. And most of these majors, whether it be mechanical, biomedical, physics, environmental, aerospace, etc., they are also available at the higher levels, such as master's and PhD. I know you may not be looking for a master's or PhD, but that does speak to our level of strength in those fields of study because your professors are also teaching PhD students. Next slide. When it comes to computer science, which is another one of our strengths, feel free to click through. You'll see the different majors that we offer within computer science. Things like software engineering, management and business systems, artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is a major growth area. We also have a very strong Bachelor of Information Technology, in which you can specialize in interactive multimedia and design. That gets into things like CGI or computer graphic imaging, and also animation. And I think perhaps some of you are into computer games, if I'm not mistaken. I know I am, that's for sure. And you can actually major in computer game development, which is a pretty cool area. And remember, all of these areas of study allow for co-op, allow for that full-time paid work experience, working alongside professionals in the industry. And that's certainly something you can do with us. Next slide. If you are interested in business, I know this is a very popular area of study in Thailand. Feel free to click through. You'll see some of the majors and areas of study that we offer within the business stream. Commerce and international business. Yeah, you can also have an elective in sustainability, if you like, which is a major growth area in this field as well. Next slide. So feel free to click through. As you're building your degree, you can really personalize it. You can have majors and minors. You can have a major and 2 minors. Within your degree, you can have a concentration, a stream of specialization. You can add co-op or not have co-op. You can do research alongside professors in your particular field of study. You build up your co-curricular record by having a lot of activities within your studies, which can also add to your ability to find a job after you graduate. So you can really make your degree your own. Next slide. Here's another testimonial from one of our international students. I do encourage you to chat with our international students by using this QR code. But there's also a very special event coming up in just a couple of days, and it's an annual event. So even if you're watching this later as a recording, you'll be able to reach out to us and we can help you know about when the next big event is happening. The team at Pacific Premier, they may actually be involved in the upcoming session in terms of watching the videos, but they will also be very knowledgeable about future events that Carleton University is having, and I encourage you to ask questions about that. Next slide, please. Now, what it all comes down to at the end of it all is you finding a job that you love and a job that is highly paid. And this is when the co-op opportunities and experiential learning becomes very valuable at Carleton University and in Canada. Next slide. So I mentioned earlier that we have at Carleton the fastest growing co-op program in all of Canada, and we also have the 3rd largest co-op program in Ontario. The number 1 university for co-op in Canada is called the University of Waterloo. Number 2 is the University of Ottawa, and number 3 is Carleton University, located in Ottawa. It's no coincidence that 2 of the top 3 universities in all of Ontario, for the strength of our co-op, are located in the capital city, because that is actually where so much of the industry is based. You can get paid very, very well while you're participating in co-op as well, as you can tell from these numbers you see on your screen here. Next slide, please. If you're concerned about your ability to find a job, it can be competitive, especially for some areas of study. But we have a very unique program at Carleton you may not find elsewhere. It's called the International Student Employment Program. Now, this is designed for international students to help you understand the Canadian workplace and also how to apply for jobs in Canada. It's very valuable to international students who may or may not have actually held the job in the past, and so it really helps you to navigate the entire process of working in Canada. Next slide, please. In case you're wondering how co-op will work while you're studying, here you'll see an example. So if you're an engineering or computer science or science student, you will study for the first full academic year in the fall term and the winter term. You will then perhaps go back to Thailand for the summer break. Then you'll return to your studies for the fall term and the winter term after in year two. And then after you finish the winter work term, typically in May, you'll then go off to work in your field. And you'll work for 4 full months on a full-time basis. You will then resume your studies in year three, in the fall term and in the winter term. And then you will actually go back to work again, but this time you will work for a full calendar year for 12 consecutive months. And so this is a great opportunity for you. You can get a sense of what I'm talking about when I say that you'll really be able to immerse yourself in the workforce. These are just some of the more recognizable names of Carleton University's partners: IBM, Nokia, Amazon, Microsoft, Shopify, for example, has their global headquarters here in Ottawa. Next slide, please. And here's a testimonial from Nista, who did an internship at Nanos Research. And this is just one of the many jobs that international students are enjoying while they're studying at Carleton University. Next slide, please. So at Carleton University, we will guarantee you a place to live in residence as part of their offer of admission package, as long as high school is your highest level of education. If you have pursued university or college in the past and you're actually wanting to transfer to Carleton University, you may still have the opportunity to live in residence. Next slide, please. So here are some images from residence. The gym facilities you see there are actually within one of our residence halls. So we cater to all dietary needs. If you have any food allergies, for example, you can let the staff know, and they can make sure that you understand the foods that you should perhaps avoid. And they can also make you special dishes to cater to your dietary needs. And this is all within the residence complex at Carleton. There are 2 different types of residence styles. In this image, you see a traditional double room, but there are also options to be in a suite style. In case you'd like to do some of your own cooking, you can actually do that. Yeah. And living in residence includes an all-access meal plan as well. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, thanks. So here's another testimonial from one of our international students from Romania. And again, I do encourage you to not necessarily take my word for everything here. You can always reach out to our international student ambassadors and ask questions, because they are going through it themselves. They are in their studies. They're loving it. They may or may not be living in residence like Romania. They are also participating in co-op opportunities, and they've really gone through the full international student experience that you would actually be embarking on. And so we're all there to support you. Next slide, please. We also are going to take care of you. It's not just about offering you admission and leaving you to your own devices. There's a lot of support mechanisms in place to not only help you with academic support, but also help you to adapt to life in Canada. You can actually be matched to other students who are in your program that are international students, perhaps even from Thailand, because we have a lot of Thai students studying with us. And when you match with a student from Thailand, you can really understand what someone who's gone before you has experienced. And if they're in your program, they may be able to give you some very helpful guidance and advice in terms of the courses to take and study strategy, and perhaps sometimes what professors are the most lenient in terms of things like late assignments? But I'm sure you would never have any late assignments, right? Right, please. There's a lot of things to be involved in at Carleton. I'm often asked about what is student life like at Carleton. Well, really, student life is what you make of it. You can be involved in sports. We have a lot of varsity sports. You can be involved in many clubs and societies. You can enjoy the countless services that we offer at Carleton University, including our therapy dogs. During times of high stress, it is incredibly beneficial on a mental and a spiritual level just to be able to sit down on the floor and cuddle with a soft puppy or something like that. It can really help you just to shed all the stress that you may be experiencing with all the assignments, especially at the end of the year and upper years. Yeah, so these are things that are available to you at Carleton. Next slide, please. We also have a dedicated International Student Services Office, which is there to help you understand the nuances of being an international student in Canada. They can help you renew a study permit by helping you through that application process. They can help you with applying for a work permit if you want to participate in work opportunities off campus. And of course, we have lots of different counseling available, mental health counseling, health counseling that are all available to our international students. And they can help you to navigate all of these things. Next, please. So earlier when I was talking about the co-op work opportunities and how Ottawa is like the Silicon Valley of Canada, this is referring to an area of city called Canada North, which is Canada's largest technology park. And those that are living in Ottawa, 14% of those living in Ottawa are working in the high-tech sector, which is actually a higher percentage than what you would find in Seattle, where the actual Silicon Valley is. So that speaks to that. Next slide, please. Another testimonial from Carolyn from Jamaica. We actually have students from 141 different countries studying with us. So it's a very diverse student population we have. Next slide, please. Yes, this is the current cost of tuition. So in terms of the Canadian and US dollar, the lower end of the range is what you would be paying for things like sciences, liberal arts, economics, communication and media studies. The higher end of the range is our current tuition for engineering. But the cost of computer science and data science and cybersecurity and IT and industrial design and architecture is very similar to that, just a little bit less. Sorry, I don't have the conversion to the Thai baht here.
Yeah, no problem. If any student interested to learn about tuition fees at Carleton University in Thai currency, feel free to contact us. Thank you.
Next slide, please. And of course, those tuition figures do not take into consideration the scholarships that we have available, because we will automatically consider you for an entrance scholarship. Depending on whether you are in an American school system, a British school system, perhaps you are doing the International Baccalaureate, perhaps you are, there's many different types of curricula out there, and we will convert your grading system to the equivalent in Canada. And I'm always happy to help you navigate that, as are the team at Pacific Premier. So you don't need to worry too much about this, but these are just examples of the automatic entrance scholarships that we offer at Carleton University. And these figures are in Canadian dollars. Next slide, please. But we also have other scholarships that you can apply for, and those are called prestige scholarships. These requires students to have a very strong admission average of 90% or higher, and this is when your extracurricular activities that you may have become very relevant to the scholarship application process. You don't need to worry about your extracurricular activities when it comes to admission because we're focusing on your grades for that. Next slide, please. But we also have a brand new award that is exclusively for international students called the President's Welcome Award for International Students. This is applicable to your first year only, and it ranges in value from $2,000 to $5,000 based upon your admission average. This is another automatic entrance scholarship, which you could actually add to either the Prestige Scholarship or the automatic entrance scholarship. Next slide, please. So the application is very straightforward. You would apply online, upload your documents, and keep an eye on your application. Next slide, please. For example, you can apply directly through our website at 360.carleton.ca. That is the most economical way to apply if you're only looking at Carleton University and you are an international student. Next slide, please. If you are looking at multiple universities in the province of Ontario, or if you're Canadian, or perhaps one of your parents is Canadian, then you would be applying through the Ontario University's Application Centre. And this is the only way to apply if you have any sort of domestic status in Canada. Next slide, please. So to summarize, if you are Canadian or permanent resident of Canada, it's the OUAC. If you're in the Ontario high school system, it would be through the OUAC, or if you're applying to multiple universities in the province of Ontario. But if you're only interested in Carleton because you have learned how strong our programs are and you've learned from the team at Pacific Premier how amazing Carleton University is, then I would encourage you to apply directly through our website with the guidance and assistance, of course, of the team at Pacific Premier. Next slide, please. So we will be focusing on your grades. You will upload your academic documents, and we're going to be focusing on your grades at the highest level. So if you are in your final year of high school, then you'll be focusing on those grades, so grade 12 results. We may or may not ask for English language proficiency testing. It really depends upon the nature of your high school studies. Next slide, please. And of course, if you do have any post-secondary studies, we'll be looking at those transcripts and the course outlines as well for the courses you've completed. There's a really handy tool on our website that allows you to indicate your preferred area of study, and also you can indicate your education background to get a very specific information about what we're looking for in terms of determining your eligibility for admission. If you do have any AP courses or IB higher levels or A levels, we will also automatically consider you for advanced standing credit that would count towards your degree. That's part of our admission process. Next slide, please. So, in case you're curious to know what our language requirements are, you can scan this handy QR code to learn of the scores we're looking for. And keep in mind, we may not actually ask for a language test. However, if you are an international student, you may be asked for a language test as part of the study permit application process, and that's something you should be aware of. I definitely encourage you to consult with the team at Pacific Premier because they're extraordinarily knowledgeable about all of this, about what is required for a study permit and so much more, and you can always rely on their guidance and advice. Next slide, please. In terms of the application deadlines, there are only 7 different programs that have early deadlines of March the 1st. All other programs would have a deadline of April the 1st. In some situations, we can still consider an application that is received after April the 1st, but what we're trying to encourage is for you to apply early. The earlier you apply, the better, because the earlier you apply, the earlier we can make a decision, and then the earlier you could rely on the services at Pacific Premier to apply for your study permit to come to Canada. We make decisions on a rolling basis for most programs. Those programs with earlier deadlines, we need to wait until a certain deadline has passed, until after the March 1st deadline, before we can extend any offers of admission to those programs, because they often require things like a portfolio. Next slide, please. So the whole process from start to finish, you would apply for admission. You would wait for a decision. Once the offer is extended to you, it will include residence and scholarship if you're eligible for those. You will then accept the offer of admission and pay a deposit to secure a provincial attestation letter, or a PAL. You will then register for your classes in July, and in August, you will hopefully already have booked your travel to come to Canada. You will pay your tuition fees and register for the International Student iStart orientation. Next slide, please. So this, again, is the last time you'll see this QR code to interact with our international student ambassadors, to ask questions that perhaps you'd be more comfortable asking one of your peers, as opposed to someone like myself who does admissions. But you're welcome to chat with the students, and then also rely on the guidance of the team at Pacific Premier. Next slide, please. But in just one day, this time tomorrow actually, we're having a virtual open house. I definitely encourage you to participate in this. You'll see the registration information there. This happens twice a year. So even if you're seeing a recording of this and you'd like to participate in this in the future, we'll be having it again in March of 2026. And then again for the fall, probably late November of 2026 as well. So this is a twice annual event. I hope that you'll participate. You'll be able to learn so much about Carleton University and the programs we offer, the application and admission process, scholarships, residents. You'll be able to interact with current international students as well. It's very beneficial for you, and I hope that you'll join. Next slide, please. You will be able to access our viewbook just by scanning that QR code. It will give you all of the information you need about Carleton University, our programs, the application and admission process, and so much more. Next slide, please. This is another handy QR code. It's kind of like a flow chart. You know those surveys you may do on social media? Well, this is something similar. You scan this and we'll ask you questions about your interests and help you find a program that suits you. It's a very personalized way of finding the right fit for you. And it's really fun as well. Next slide, please. You can also participate in a virtual campus tour if you wish to do so by scanning that QR code. Bangkok is very far away, so it's handy to be able to reach out to us online and see the campus from your desktop or telephone. So again, my name is Andy Rayburn. I'm an International Business and Recruitment Officer. And if you ever want to reach out to me, you're welcome to do so through our friends at Pacific Premier. The team there, they're extraordinary. They have worked with Carleton for a very long time. They're very knowledgeable about Carleton University, and they're very professional, and they offer the most lovely guidance. Also, if you apply through Pacific Premier, good news, Carleton University will prioritize your application, and we will get you a position a lot faster if you go through Pacific Premier than if you apply without them. So it's to your advantage to use their services. I can't stress that enough. Thank you so much for participating today.
Thank you so much, Andy, for your wonderful presentation. And you have lived in the beautiful city of Ottawa for many, many years. What is your most favorite things about Ottawa that you'd like to share with the students, please?
Well, actually, I fell in love with Carleton University when I was in grade 10. I grew up about 6 hours away from Ottawa, and I've always been interested in politics. So my favorite aspect of Ottawa is it being the capital city and the beauty of it, the canals and the waterways and the parks. I get around the city very efficiently on my bicycle or by walking because it's such a lovely city to walk in and it's very, very safe as well. So that is my favorite aspect of the city of Ottawa for sure. Just the fact that it's the capital and filled with lots of beauty.
Mm. Also, it has embassies from many countries located in Ottawa, and also is truly international. In Ottawa, so many students from around the world are now studying in Ottawa and would like to call Ottawa their home in the future. Thank you so much, Andy, for joining us today. And we hope to see you again next time in Ottawa. And for students in Thailand, thank you so much for joining us live or watching this video. And we hope you choose to come to Carleton University or CU. If you have any question, please feel free to contact us. ท่านใดที่อยู่ที่ประเทศไทยที่ฟังวิดีโอนี้อยู่นะคะและสนใจเกี่ยวกับ Carleton University ที่นี่เป็นมหาวิทยาลัยชื่อดังนะคะจากเมืองออตตาวาประเทศแคนาดาค่ะมีโปรแกรมปริญญาตรีให้เลือกมากมายสนใจข้อมูลสามารถติดต่อเพิ่มเติมได้นะคะที่ Pacific Premier เรามีบริการให้ข้อมูลประสานงานการสมัครแล้วก็บริการด้านวีซ่าด้วยค่ะขอบพระคุณเป็นอย่างสูงค่ะบ๊ายบาย Thank you so much Andy have a wonderful day ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you.